too.
I knew coming into this, it would be difficult to learn to accept people's habits, especially living with 3 strangers.
Seth is definitely a free spirit, maybe too much so sometimes.
Naked White Boys was not part of the deal.
Sitting on the couch, reading my book, minding my own business. I look over and they're just staring at me. It was rude.
He had a rash going on. Impossible not to stare at. You just wanted to scratch just out of sympathy.
By the way, we promised Seth that we'd tell all of America that he had just come out of a really cold bath before that was shot.
Freezing.
Freezing bath, that accounts for some of that. So let's recap where you are right now. Petra, I know you have that sad face, but you're not that far behind. You're at 35 points.
Damn, baby.
And the other 3 are in the lead, tied at 40. All right, so you're... Oh, that sound could only mean it's time to talk some trash, some serious trash. We have kept you for the past 7 days. If you don't know this, if you're just joining us, they've been out of contact with the entire outside world. You've seen no newspapers, heard any news of any kind, read no supermarket tabloids. You know, where you get all the real good news. Well, we have tabloid stories for you, all right? You're looking for the true story of the selections I'll give you. Each correct answer this round is worth 15 points. This week's National Examiner legitimately features this cover story with the headline, Regis in Rage Over Kathy Lee Betrayal. Now, according to the story inside, just what did Kathy Lee do to enrage Reg? A, he found out she voted for me to win the Emmy for Best Game Show Host instead of Regis. Why'd you laugh at that? B, she'll appear on a competitor show to plug her upcoming CD. C, she said he often came to work smelling like cheap booze. Or D, she's writing a nasty tell-all book about her years as his co-host. Pick a letter, lock it in. All right, we got 3 choices for the nasty tell-all book, but Petra, you've broke ranks. Why do you think it's B?
What was it again?
You know what? I was just so happy to see how fast you hit the button that no thought went into it at all, right? Guess what? B is correct. That's right. That's right. She's going to appear on a competitor's show to plug her upcoming CD. So we've already proven that in some cases, less thinking is better since you've been gone. Okay, next story. This week's Globe magazine reports that legendary crooner Andy Williams almost lost his voice forever. He's miraculously cured his damaged vocal cords thanks to an unusual technique. According to the Globe, what is Andy's voice-saving secret? A, he moos like a cow. B, he sleeps in an oxygen tent with pantyhose wrapped around his throat. C, he sucks on a baby's pacifier. Or D, he channels the spirit of Elvis. Pick a letter, lock it in. Wow, you all think that he sucks on a baby's pacifier. You've been out of the mainstream only 7 days. Why do you think that, Tiff?
You know that Andy Williams guy, I just don't think he's quite as wholesome as we've all thought.
Oh, really? That's right. Moon River my ass, Andy. Actually, it's A. He moves like a cow as a warm-up exercise. There's Andy in his pre-moo right there. There he goes at his Moon River Theater in Branson, Missouri. All right, so nobody picked up any points on that one. All right. Before you went away last week, you heard the news that Anne Heche and Ellen DeGeneres split up. The National Enquirer now reports that a sobbing Anne has turned to another celebrity for comfort. According to the magazine, whose shoulder is Anne sobbing on? A, Reverend Al Sharpton. B, Rosie O'Donnell. C, Vince Vaughn. Or D, Katie Lang. Pick a letter, lock it in. All right, you think it's I'm surprised. The Reverend Al got no votes. I'm stunned. Michael, why do you think Katie Lang?
Well, I think they would actually make a good couple.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah.
Well, actually, you and Petra are correct. It is Katie Lang. Nothing romantic, according to the paper. They just happen to be staying at the same hotel in Toronto. So that's it for our tabloid stories. Let's recap the scores right now. Tiffany and Seth are tied at 40. Mike, you're at 55, but Petra's maintaining her recently achieved lead at 65 points. Congratulations. All right. Okay. You go, girl. Do you hear it? I feel like Pavlov's host every time that goes. The sound means now that it's time for our next game called Sound Bite of the Week. All right, now in a moment I'm going to read you a quote that was in the news since you've been gone over the past 7 days. Your job is to figure out who actually said it, and I'll give you 4 choices. The correct answer here again is worth 15 points. You ready?
Ready.
On Labor Day, a public figure was red-faced after being caught on videotape referring to a New York Times reporter as a major league a-hole. We cleaned that up for you kids at home. Who got caught making the off-color remark while you were away in Palm Springs? Was it A, John Rocker, B, Dr. Laura Schlesinger, C, George W. Bush, or D, Heather Renee French, the reigning Miss America? Pick a letter, lock it in. Michael, Petra, so you think it's Dr. Laura Schlesinger. You thought the reigning Miss America, Tiffany, would say that?
There would be nothing more irreverent than a cursing Miss America.
Yeah, well, that's true. And you went with John Rocker. You know, it's interesting, when you cut people off from the outside world, as we did, the 4 of you, for 7 days, of course, we all know that it was George W. Bush.
Oh,
George
God,
W. Bush. No points for anyone. And this is a piece of videotape that the rest of us have been enjoying endlessly over the past few days. Check it out.
Here's Adam Slimer, Major League a-hole from New York Giants.
Big time.
All right, boys and girls, let's say it together. Compassionate conservative. All right. Let's recap scores right now. All right, Tiffany and Seth are still tied at 40. Mike is creeping up in 55 points, and Petra's holding on to her lead at 65 points. Don't forget, there's a trip around the world, all expenses paid for 2 for one of you at the end of this hour. And when we come back from a commercial, we've had the help of your family and friends in delving into your personal lives since you've been gone, and we'll unveil a fascinating personal tidbit about one of you right after this.